What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Albion video. In this video I want to talk about artifact crafting and the artifact foundry found in your city. So if you've been playing this game for a while, you may have noticed some drops that happens when you kill some mobs, such as the runes or the souls or the relics, and you might have been wondering, what are these drops used for, what can I do with them, and what are the value with them. In this video I will talk about the artifact crafting. So, what are artifacts? Artifacts are basically special ingredients that can be used to create very rare items in the game. So, for example, if I open up my Destiny board and I go here into the Mages node and into the Warlock node, you will see that we have 6 items that I can place, or 6 weapons that I can use once I unlock this node. 3 of these items are regular items that are crafted with regular materials, such as the Cursed Staff, which you just need some planks and some steel bars. We get the Great Cursed Staff, which you need the same materials, and then the Demonic Staff, which you need these materials as well. There are also 3 special weapons in each node, and these are called the artifact weapons. These weapons need about the same resources, but you also need an artifact to craft them. So for example, if I want to craft the Adept's Life Cursed Staff, I need the Lost Cursed Crystal to craft this staff, as well as the Damnation. I need the Bloodforge Catalyst, and the Cursed Skull. I need the Cursed Jawbone. So those are the artifacts. You can craft artifacts by using some of the runes, souls, or relics, and we'll talk about that in the forge, the artifact foundry actually. And yeah, so each weapon node has 3 regular weapons and then 3 artifact weapons. So if I look at the sword fighter, I have the broadsword, the claymore, and the dual swords. These are the regular weapons. And I have something like the Clarent blade, the carving sword, and the Galantine pair, which need artifacts to be able to craft. So let's go ahead and get started with artifact crafting. In every city you'll find a person, or a little territory here, which is called the artifact foundry, and it actually has, it's like an in-game built, so it's not like a player-driven little place here. So it has a 0% usage fee and everything like that. But you can come here into the artifact foundry. Again, it's in every city. You're gonna have to find where yours is located. And there's gonna be 4 tabs. We have the meld, the salvage, the enchant, and the transmute. We'll talk about these 3, and the transmute is something completely else that is not necessary. So let's start with the meld. How do you create artifacts? So when you click on the meld, or it's going to be clicked automatically, you'll see that you can create an artifact. The first thing you're going to need is you have to choose the tier of the artifacts. Such as weapons, since there's 8 tiers, artifact weapons start in tier 4, and you can craft them all the way to tier 8. So for example, if I want to craft the Clarent blade tier 8, I need a tier 8 Bloodforge blade artifact. So you can choose which tier you want to craft. So for this example, we're going to craft a tier 5 artifact. Then you have to choose which little thing, I really don't know what to call them. They're like ingredients, you can say, to craft the artifacts. But you can choose between a rune, a soul, or a relic. So we have a rune, a soul, or a relic. And each of these have like special artifacts that you can craft. So the rune artifacts can craft rune artifact weapons. And something like the soul artifacts can craft the soul artifact weapons and such forward. So we're going to do a tier 5 soul, and then what we have to do is you can actually choose a class. So there are 3 classes that you can choose for artifacts. You have the warrior, you have the mage, and you have the hunter. And what happens is, when you craft artifacts, you have to use some of these special ingredients right here, but you cannot select an individual artifact to craft. So I can't select, if I want to craft the Clarent blade. Oh, actually, this is the, let's say I want to craft, if I come here and I go into the sword fighter and I want to craft the carving sword. For that, I need the demonic blade. I can't click and specifically craft that item. So let's go back into the tier 5. Let's go into soul and then warrior. And you can see that the demonic blade here, you can be crafted. You can't individually craft that, that blade or that artifact. You're gonna have to have a chance of crafting that. So these, when I click meld, I have a chance of getting one of these artifacts here. So you can't specifically craft an individual artifact. And once you select the class you want to do, you'll see that the requirements are special resources are, for example, if I want to do tier 5, I need a tier 5 art, tier 5 souls if I want to do the soul crafting for a warrior. But you'll see that will cost me 50 souls to craft a specific class's weapons. So if I want to craft a warrior, I need 50, or a mage, I need 50, or a hunter, I need 50. But if I just want to craft overall any artifact, I only have to waste 36. But with 36, if I waste 36 of these souls, that means I now have a larger pool of items I can craft. So if you're not going for a specific artifact, so if, for example, you don't care if you want to get the demonic blade, you just want an artifact with the souls that you just got, you can actually click many and it will actually take less resources to craft, but you have a larger pool of stuff that you can craft, so you have a lower chance of crafting that specific item that you want to craft. So let's do many so I don't waste all of my souls. I'm going to click meld. What happens here is going to meld and it's going to give me an artifact. For this, I got a burning orb. I'm not sure what this is used for. The brimstone staff, that's what it's used for the experts, brimstone staff. So I'm actually going to do it again because I want to see what I get it. I got an infernal mace head, which is used for an incubus mace. So let's go into the mace class. We'll see if I can open that correctly. Where's the mace? If I can find it, right here. So I can actually, with what I just got, I can craft an incubus mace, tier 5. So I can actually go ahead and craft this if I was able to craft this, or sell it off to the market for some profits. So I'm able to craft this because this is an artifact weapon, and I just got the infernal mace head to be able to craft that artifact weapon. So that's how the creating or making or crafting of artifacts work. So if you come across any runes or souls around in the world, I suggest keeping them and come here into the artifact foundry and craft them into either artifacts, or what you can do, and we'll talk about enchantment in a little bit, but let's go into the next tab, salvage. Salvage is kind of the same thing. What you can do is you can actually drop an artifact and you can salvage the artifact. So if I just have, let's say I don't want this artifact anymore, I can actually salvage it and I'll be able to get a return on what I invested. So I got salvaged and it gave me some of the silver back, and it gave me some of the souls back. So that's what salvage is. So if you go around the world and you kill somebody and you get an artifact weapon, you can come here, salvage the artifact weapon, and get some of the artifacts or some of the souls or relics or runes back. Let's go into enchantment. So what is enchantment? In Albion Online, there are 3 enchantments. There's a 0.1, 0.2, and 0.3. What happens is, every time you level an enchantment, it increases your damage, your energy cost, and your spells and item power. So for example, let's see, I have, for example, right here, I have right here what's called a 4.1 weapon here. So how you can tell why it's 4.1, it has that little diamond here, and it's green. So the green is for tier 1 or enchantment 1, and I have my mercenary jacket, which is 4.2, and I can tell because I have the 2 little things here, and it's glowing blue. And for the 4.3 or the 3rd enchantment, it will be glowing purple. So what does this mean? Every time you level up or you get a higher enchantment item, your item power increases, as well as your damage and your the energy cost of your spells, and of course your item power will increase. So there are actually 2 ways to get these higher level enchantment items. First, you can craft them. So if I want to craft a 4.2 mercenary jacket, I need to get 4.2 rare worked leather. I haven't talked much about resources in my channel and how to obtain enchantments and stuff like that. I'll have a video up on that later on. But for now, if you want to craft a mercenary jacket for a 4.2 mercenary jacket, you need some rare worked leather. So what if you don't want to go out and gather some of this leather? Let's say I have my cursed staff here and it's 4.1, so I need some 4.1 planks and some 4.1 steel bars. And I want to turn this into a 4.2. What I can do is I can bring my weapon, bring into the enchantment, and I can actually enchant my weapon into a higher enchantment by providing it either some souls, some runes, or some relics. If I want to bring something from a low tier, let's say I have a flat tier item, it will cost me for a weapon it'll cost me runes. So if I have a plain 4-tier item, so it's not enchanted. Let's just say there's no, no green thing. It's not enchanted. It's just basically a flat 4 item. That will require runes to upgrade it from a flat 4 to a 4.1. If I want to upgrade it from a 4.1 to a 4.2, I have to waste some of these souls. And if I want to upgrade it from a 4.2 to a 4.3, I would have to waste some of the relics. So, for example, I'm actually going to enchant this. So it's going to take 72, and I'll explain the cost and what determines the cost of the item. But it's going to take 72 souls to upgrade it from 4.1 to 4.2. So let's enchant it. I get an extra 100 item power. So let's enchant it. And it'll take a little while. And boom, I have a 4.2 item. It gave me 100 more item power. And now if I want to enchant it into a 4.3, I now have to use relics. I have to use 72 relics. So to go from 0 to 1, you need runes. From 1 to 2, you need souls. And from 2 to 3, you need relics. And again, this can be used for any tier. So if I want to enchant a tier 8 item, I need tier 8 runes, souls, and relics. So what determines the cost? It's not random. You can actually tell what's the cost. For example, if I want to do, I'm actually going to have to repair my items. So I'll do this quickly. Let's say I want to enchant my bag or something. So let me repair my bag. You have to enchant items. It has to be full. The durability has to be at 100%. So if I actually bring my bag in here, it will say that it will cost 48, but for my weapon it costs 72, and this is what determines how much you have to use. So for shoes, heads, offhand weapons, and capes, you will need to use 25 runes, souls, or relics. To craft chest or enchant chest and bags, you need 48 runes, souls, or relics. To enchant any one-handed weapons, you need 72 runes, souls, or relics. And if you want to enchant any two-handed weapons, you need 96 runes, souls, or weapons. So since I'm enchanting a one-handed weapon, it's a one-handed weapon since I have something in my second hand, I can actually drop it and it'll cost me 72 souls. If I want to do a bag, I would have to do 48. If I want to do my chest piece, it'll be 48. If I do my cape, it's 24, and this goes for any tier. So if I want to enchant my 4.2 to 4.3, it's going to be 72. If I want to enchant a 4.1 to 4.2, it's still going to be 72. It's just the amount of tier of the the relics or the souls that you get there. So that's pretty much it. There's one more tab, which is the transmute, but a lot of people don't really like the idea of transmuting items. But what you can do is, if you really want to get some souls, you can actually change some of your runes into some souls, but as you can see, it would cost a lot of silver, and it's not worth it. Might as well just go and buy the souls and runes from the market, or go out into dungeons and try getting some of the souls and stuff like that. So keep away from the transmute tab. But enchantment, it's very profitable if you're an enchanter. Let's say you go into the market, you get a flat 4 item, and you want to enchant it to a 4.3. You can buy or go get some souls, runes, and relics. Come here, enchant it all the way to 4.3, and then sell it off to the market for some profit. As well, sometimes it's cheaper to just to enchant the item right here instead of buying a full enchanted item on the market. And for the creating artifact, you can create artifacts if you're a crafter to craft some artifact weapons, or you can actually get lucky and some of these artifacts do sell for a lot of money, and you can make some profit that way by creating artifacts. There are some people who actually gamble. They go out into the market, they buy a lot of runes and relics and souls. They come here and they gamble their way, and sometimes they make tons and tons of silver, sometimes they lose a lot of silver, because some of these relics, some of these artifacts can actually be worthless. Some of them sell for less than less than just the artifact itself, the rune or the soul itself. So some of them are worthless, some of them are very, very expensive, such like the blazing and stuff like that. So some people gamble their way. They just go and buy a whole lot of runes and relics, come here, try getting that special artifact, and going off and selling it for a profit. So that's pretty much all about artifacts and the artifact foundry in the game. It's a pretty cool aspect of enchantments and having cool items and artifact weapons. Artifact weapons are very, very valuable. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. Comment below for any suggestions for upcoming videos. I'm really trying to grow this channel, so any kind of support will be greatly appreciated. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later on my next video. Peace.